Good morning and welcome to Unity of Orange County. We're so glad that you decided to join us today. And we always like to begin and open with our vision and mission statement here at Unity of Orange County. So, our vision is centered in divine love. We joyfully co create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. And I always like to recognize those people who make it possible for us to be here. And so we have Bill on piano, and we're so grateful. And we have Tom doing our sound, and John doing our streaming, and Christopher is on the camera, and Reverend Allison is our prayer platform person for today. So we're glad that you're all here. And we have been doing collection for the South County Outreach. We were collecting gift cards. We collected 30 gift cards. And I want to thank everybody that bought a gift card or sent money and helped us help 30 families have a better Christmas. So we're really grateful for all of those donations. And Christmas Eve, we're going to have a special service on Christmas Eve. It will be held on Zoom, and the Zoom ID is 426 960 4138. It's at 6:30. We hope you'll join us. We're going to have candle lighting. We're going to have lots of musical videos, and it's going to be a really nice special service. And we know that you all love our church, Unity of Orange County. And normally in December we have a fundraiser, but this year we are having an unfundraiser, and it is not too late to buy your non-ticket tickets. The non-tickets are $25 a piece, but you can buy as many as you want. It's a great way to support the church. You don't even have to come out. You don't have to get anything. And we appreciate any of the donations that you send us. We also have a new class beginning on January 6th based on the book Living Originally by Robert Brummett. If anyone is interested in that class, you do need the book, and you can get it from Amazon, of course, or unity.org. If you do go to Amazon to get it, please go to Smile Amazon and order it from there so that a little bit of the money comes to Unity of Orange County. And now I'd like to bring up Reverend Allison for our daily word and our meditation.
Good morning. Daily word for Sunday, December 13th, 2020. Love. Love surrounds me and fills my heart. Love fills my senses throughout this Advent season. I find it in the taste and the aroma of the favorite holiday recipes, lovingly made. I hear it in my favorite Christmas music sung with joy. I feel love in a child's enthusiastic hug or in a friend's caring touch. I see love and joy in the festive decorations adorning houses around my neighborhood. The love of friends and family and neighbors at Christmas time surrounds me in so many ways. Throughout the year, love remains the most beautiful evidence of the presence of God in and through all things. Love is the harmonizing power that infuses the world and everyone in it. Inspired by divine love, I perceive the divine in every person and in all situations. And the scripture today is 1 Corinthians 13. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love. And if you just take a moment and be prepared for our meditation, find a comfortable space. Put your feet on the floor and ground yourself in that earth beneath you. And slowly begin to breathe and take in this moment. And as we rest in meditation, let's know this. God is love. As we take this moment to unite our minds and our hearts in meditation, We are grateful for the presence. We are grateful for the love within. It's infinite, unconditional love. We form this circle of love as we hold its truth in our hearts and draw others close to us in this time of meditation. Those we care about and those we know only as part of our worldwide family, we embrace them in this moment. And now continuing to still our thoughts and be in the presence, we're ready to experience that deeper love, moment by moment. We are one in the spirit of divine love as we open our hearts to peace, as we rest in this sacred stillness. In this presence we breathe in love. And as we exhale, we let go of any thoughts of yesterday or concerns about tomorrow. We are always in the presence, sustained by an endless current of peace flowing in and through us. We can experience it in the fullness of this moment. The infinite love of Source is within. So let us attune our thoughts to the presence of love and wisdom within, and open our minds to new insights and new understandings. And with this new understanding, we soar to new heights, as on the wings of eagles. We develop a new and fresh perspective, and we see the events of our life as a higher viewpoint, knowing that with God we can do all things. And with this clear vision, we move forward in confidence as we take a moment to rest within. Trusting our thoughts as we deepen this awareness of the healing power of this divine love. We are channels of this love. And as we allow full access of divine healing love to flow through us and as us throughout our body temples, we express a new and renewed energy and strength. Let us hold these positive thoughts of health and vitality, knowing that this love within nurtures every cell of our bodies. And we open up to that healing love by giving thanks. Thanks for what is taking place right here and right now. And we take these thoughts within. The world is a sacred place, and each creation is precious, and it is precious to God. So it's in this awareness that we are able to see all people as expressions of the divine love, as loved and loving. One spirit, we divinely affirm unconditional love blessings for all people. And knowing that this love paves the way for lasting peace, we return a moment to the silence. And as we slowly begin to bring this time of meditation to a close, we acknowledge once again the love, the knowing that we are expressing this love. And we let the power and the presence of love through us give thanks for this time together. And bringing our attention back to this time and place, we're ready then to return to the daily activities, taking with us a renewed spirit of love. And it is in this spirit that we say, thank you, God. And so it is.
Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So here we are already in the third week of Advent. It seems like it's really gone by really quickly. And so this week we're going to light the Advent candle for love. So this Christmas may look a little different than some other Christmases, especially regarding love, because maybe you're not able to spend Christmas with your loved ones like you normally would and travel to places and visit with the family. But it is still a time to remember that there are many ways to express love. Yesterday I was on a Zoom call with my family in Atlanta. So even though we may not be able to be with them physically, we can still be with them in a lot of ways. Because the thing about love is love doesn't need to have you connected physically with someone to express that love. Love is a feeling that transcends distance, transcends all of that, because love is so deep. And the whole Christmas story is a love story. To begin with, it's about the love of Joseph for Mary. And it's the love of the shepherds, strangers, to the baby and the three wise men, and Mary's love of not just Joseph and her child, but her love of God, so that when she gets this message, she does what the angel says. And one of the most beautiful descriptions of love we find from 1 Corinthians. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. Love does not demand its own way. Love is not irritable, and it keeps no record of when it has been wronged. It is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Love will last forever, but prophecy and speaking in unknown languages and special knowledge will disappear. There are three things that will endure: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And so this story of love throughout Christmas is just this powerful message. And there's so many things out there. There's so many stories and movies and everything about love and all of that. But I'd like to read you a story that someone gave me that I found. And it's called A Christmas Gift. And the old man sat in his gas station on a cold Christmas Eve. He hadn't been anywhere in years since his wife had passed away. It was just another day to him. He didn't hate Christmas. He just couldn't find a reason to celebrate. He was sitting there looking at the snow that had been falling for the last hour and wondering what it was all about when the door opened and a homeless man stepped through. Instead of throwing the man out, Old George, as he was known by his customers, told the man to come in and sit by the heater and warm up. "Thank you, but I don't mean to intrude," said the stranger. "I see you're busy. I'll just go." George said, "Not without something hot in your belly." He turned and opened a wide-mouthed thermos and handed it to the stranger. And he said, "It ain't much, but it's hot and tasty. Stew, made it myself. When you're done, there's coffee and it's fresh." Just at that moment, he heard a ding on the driveway bell. "Excuse me, be right back," George said. There in the driveway was an old '53 Chevy. Steam was rolling out of the front. The driver was panicked. "Mister, can you help me?" said the driver with a deep Spanish accent. "My wife is with child and my car is broken." George opened the hood. It was bad. The block looked cracked from the cold. The car was dead. "You ain't going anywhere in this thing," George said. "But mister, please help." The door of the office closed behind George as he went inside. He went to the office wall, got the keys in his old truck, and went back outside. He walked around the building, opened the garage, started the truck, and drove it around to where the couple was waiting. "Here, take my truck," he said. "She ain't the best thing you ever looked at, but she runs real good." George helped put the woman in the truck and watched as it sped off into the night. He turned and walked back into the office. "Glad I gave him the truck. Their tires were shot too. That old truck has brand new ones." George thought he was talking to the stranger, but the man had gone. The thermos was on the desk, empty, and a used coffee cup beside it. Well, at least he got something in his belly, George thought. George went back outside to see if the old Chevy would start. It cranked slowly, but it started. So he pulled it into the garage where the truck had been. He thought he would tinker with it for something to do. Christmas Eve meant no customers. He discovered that the block hadn't cracked. It was just the bottom hose and the radiator. "Well, shoot, I can fix this," he said to himself. So he put a new one on. "Those tires ain't going to get him through the winter either," he said. So he took the snow treads off his wife's old Lincoln, and they were like new, and he put them on the car. The front door of the office flew open again. In burst a man with a gun. "Give me all your cash. Do it now," the young man yelled. His hand was shaking, and George could tell that he had never done anything like this before. George said, "Son, why are you doing this? You need to put that canyon away. Someone might get hurt." The young man was confused. "Shut up, old man, or I'll shoot you. Now give me the cash." George said, "Son, it's Christmas Eve. If you need money, well then, here. It ain't much, but it's all I got. Now put that pea shooter away." George pulled $150 out of his pocket and handed it to the young man, reaching for the barrel of the gun at the same time. The young man released his grip on the gun, fell to his knees, and began to cry. "I'm not very good at this, am I? All I wanted was to buy something for my wife and my son. I've lost my job, my rent is due, my car got repossessed last week." "Son, we all get in a bit of a squeeze now and then. The road gets hard sometimes, but we make it the best we can." He got the young man to his feet and sat him down on a chair. "Sometimes we do stupid things," George said, as he handed the man a cup of coffee. "Being stupid is one of those things that makes us human. Coming here with a gun ain't the answer. Now sit there and get warm, and we'll sort this out." The young man had stopped crying, but had regret all over his face. George went into the back room and came out with a box. He pulled out a ring. "Here you go, something for the little woman. I don't think Martha would mind. She said it would come in handy someday." The young man looked inside to see the biggest diamond ring he ever saw. "I can't take this," he said. "It means something to you." And George replied, "And now it means something to you. I've got my memories. That's all I need." George reached into the box again. An airplane, a car, and a truck appeared next. They were toys that the oil company had left for him to sell. "Here's something for that little man of yours." The young man began to cry again as he handed back the $150 that George had handed him earlier. "And what are you supposed to buy Christmas dinner with? You keep that," George said to him. "Now get home to your family." The young man turned with tears streaming down his face. "I'll be here in the morning for work if you have a job for me." "Nope, I'm closed on Christmas Day," George said, "but I'll see you the day after." George turned around to find that the stranger had returned. "Where'd you come from? I thought you had left." "I have been here. I has always been here," said the stranger. "You say you don't celebrate Christmas? Why?" "Well, after my wife passed away, I just couldn't see what all the bother was. Putting up a tree all seemed like just a waste of a good pine tree. Baking cookies like I used to with Martha just wasn't the same by myself. And beside, I'm getting a little chubby." The stranger put his hand on George's shoulder. "But you do celebrate the holiday, George. You gave me food and drink and warmed me when I was cold and hungry. The woman with the child will bear a son, and he will become a great doctor. The young man who robbed you will make you a rich man and not take anything for himself. That is the spirit of the season, and you keep it as good as any man." George was taken aback by all the stranger had said. "And how do you know all of this?" he asked the stranger. "Trust me, George, I have the inside track on this sort of thing. And when your days are done, you will be with Martha again." The stranger moved to the door. "If you will excuse me, George, I have to go now. I have to go home where there is a big celebration planned." George watched as the old leather jacket and the torn pants that the stranger was wearing turned into a white robe. and a golden light began to fill the room. When George turned his attention back to the gas station, a strange sensation greeted him. Everything in his small room was suddenly clean and bright. His station looked like it had been renovated, and indeed it had. The spirit that was within the stranger was also within George, and a new world came into view. The peace that passes all understanding filled his heart and his little business. The spirit of love had visited him and filled him with the magic that is the spirit of the season, love for everyone. That is what love is about this Christmas season. It isn't about the love of necessarily a husband and wife or the kind of romantic love that we see in movies all the time. It's the kind of love that we have for someone we don't even know. It's the kind of love we have for a God, a higher power that we can't see. It's the kind of love that fills us when we watch a story, a beautiful Christmas story, or see a movie. It's the love that transcends all desperation and despair. So last week we saw a scene from It's a Wonderful Life. And if you remember, or if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know where you've been, but if you haven't seen the movie, it's everywhere. I'd suggest you watch it, but it's all about a man also by the name of George Bailey. And George Bailey's had a run of bad luck. You know, things haven't seemed to go his way. He's trying to keep this business going, and his uncle lost the money for the business, and the bank people are coming after him, and he's just desperate. You know, his family is suffering because he doesn't have any money, and so he had wished that he was never been born. And an angel comes to save him, and he shows George what the world would be like if George had never been born. You see, the message in It's a Wonderful Life is the fact that we don't know how we affect other people's lives. We may think we don't make a difference. We may think if we weren't here, no one would care. But every person on this earth touches another person, and sometimes it's in ways that you have no idea. So at the end of the movie, George realizes he's seen what the world would be like without him, and he prays that he does want to have lived. And so he gets this opportunity to come back. And he comes home, and while he's been gone, feeling sad and depressed and filled of self-pity, his wife Mary, who loves him deeply, has gone out and as an act of love told all the people in their town about what they were going through. And this is the scene. This is a scene of pure love.
George, I changed my mind. I've been saving this money for divorce if ever I get a husband. George, you got the factory all left out of it. Here's some new play with.
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George.
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Now get this. It's from London.
Oh.
Mr. Gower cabled you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Mr. Martini, how about some wine?
blizzard.
Harry, how about your Banford in New York?
Oh, I left right in the middle of it. As soon as I got Mary's telegram. Good idea, Ernie. A toast. To my big brother, George, the richest man in town.
What's that?
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Emmett Fox said, "There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer." So I invite you to remember that this year, whatever difficulties you may be going through, no matter how you are feeling, know that love can conquer all. So I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. There is nothing that love cannot resolve. There is no lack when there is love. There is no confusion when there is love. There is no pain when there is love. Love conquers all. Love endures all. And no matter what is going on in your life this Christmas season, take time to remember that this is a season of love. The Christmas story is a story of love. Jesus came to show us that the love of God is always with us. That the Christ consciousness that was in Jesus is also within us. For we are all children of God. And therefore we are loved and we are love. So this season, remember, the more that you share the love that you have, the more love you will receive. So may this Christmas season be filled with not just hope and peace, but the love that endures all things. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for that beautiful song, Bill. Did you write that? Oh, it's just beautiful. I've never heard it before. Well, here at Unity, we have 5 basic principles, and we like to affirm them each week. And the first one is God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. And 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. And 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know. I make a difference. And we do make a difference. We make a difference in many ways. You certainly make a difference for our community here at Unity of Orange County. You make a difference by your gifts that you give us, your tithes and your donations. And you can do that either by mailing them to us or going on our website or sending it as a text. I just want you to know how much we appreciate it, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those gifts. And we continue to be here as a result of those gifts. So I know sometimes at Christmas there's a lot of pressure around. There's gifts to buy and people are sending you letters and everybody is asking for money. It's the end of the year. So we really appreciate anything that you can give us, and we will treat it with the respect and gratitude that it deserves. And so we like to say a little prayer over our giving. So if you're ready to give your gifts by phone or tithe, or if you're going to write a check and mail it to us, I invite you to take that gift in your hands and to bless it with our blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we are grateful. And so we hope that this week you have a wonderful week, a safe week as you continue to celebrate the Christmas season. We hope you join us next week, which is our last candle, which is the candle for joy, and that you join us on Christmas Eve. It's going to be a Zoom, not on YouTube, on Zoom. So you can check that Zoom number if you haven't written it down. It'll be on our website. And we hope that you join us then. And in the meanwhile, have a safe week, have a wonderful week, and have a week filled with love. And now let us close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week and be safe. Bye.